What's going on, guys? This is Kobe with SampleSource, back with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to teach you how to get placements in the music industry. And if you're just seeing my channel for the first time, what qualifies me to teach on this is because I actually do have placements in the music industry with Rod Wave, K-Camp, YFN Lucci, Rotimi, Young and Ace, Forever Friday, and many more. So I'm actually going to jump into my laptop today and show you live how you can find your first network connection. I really am excited to teach you guys exactly how I do this in my blueprint, step by step, and my journey for getting my first placement. And hopefully you can replicate that and get some placements of your own.
I appreciate all the support. If you guys would like and comment and subscribe to the channel, then we'll get into the video.
So if this is your first time watching my videos, or if you have been watching my channel for some time, you know that I make custom beats, and that's my primary source of income. So if you want a free framework for why you should start selling custom beats and why it makes sense for your business more than beat leasing, then I have a free framework in the link in the description, so you can click that and download it completely for free. So hopefully that's of some value to you, so make sure you go and grab that. So I get placements primarily from making loops, and so a lot of people get turned off by making loops. If you're not into that, then you can still get placements. That you probably will have to accumulate an email list of managers, A&Rs, and artists that you can send to, and then you'll probably have to find somebody that can make samples for you so that you can put your beats together. So if you find some industry producers, then they can send you samples completely for free, and that way if you get placements, you can just do splits with them. So if you are against doing publishing splits with a bunch of different producers and getting placements, then this is probably not for you, because on most major records, there's at least 3 producers on hit records usually. So I know I produce Freestyle for Rod Wave with TNT and Timmy the Hitman. So I got that placement with 2 other producers, and the main producer on that actually got half of it. So then you're splitting half of half. So, and even with that, I was still made thousands and thousands of dollars off of that single record. So keep in mind that if you're getting placements, you're gonna have to split it with somebody most likely. So a single piece of advice that I wanna teach you guys today is that you need to find your first network connection. And this is somebody that really messes with your sound, that really wants to work with you. So when you're looking for somebody, I would go to a bigger producer and kind of look through their comments, look through their followers, and find a few different producers. You can easily find producers, and once you look in their bio and you see that they have some credits in the music industry, just hit them up and say like, hey man, I really mess with your sound, you know, is there a way that I can send you some loops? Or if you make drums, then you probably would try to work out some sort of collab relationship with that producer. So you probably get turned down a lot in the beginning, especially if you don't have a good brand or big following. So I would work on your own infrastructure first before doing this, but it's by no means necessary to work in the music industry. So I'm actually going to jump into my laptop today and show you live how you can find your first network connection. But the way that I got my first connection was actually by following a lot of producers and artists. And so I would go to a page like Cash Money AP, and then I would just go through and find artists and producers that I could follow. One of those people's name was Tyler Javion. He works a lot in the music industry. You know, he actually is really close with Young Blue and some other bigger artists. So I had actually just followed him. I never even reached out to him, and he checked out my work and he liked it, so that he hit me up and asked if I could send him some samples and things like that. And so that's how we got our relationship going. And I think that this is critical, because when you find your first network connection, the networking after that goes very fast. So like as you get that first relationship, you want to make sure you are working with them as much as possible, trying to get as many collabs in as possible, because when they put that on their story and tag you, all of their other network connections are going to see that, and then they might hit you up or follow you from that one producer. So that's exactly what happened. I did a lot of collabs with Tyler, and then he put some on his story, and then another even bigger producer than him saw it. His name is Twisted Genius. If you don't know who he is, he produced a lot for Lil Baby. He produced Some to Prove for Lil Baby. So he saw my collab on Tyler Javion's story, and then he just hit me up out of nowhere, and then I was able to network with him. And after I networked with him, he knows so many more producers that it just starts compiling and compounding on top of each other and snowballing until you end up getting a huge network of industry producers that you can hit up. So with that being said, that's how I got my network connection started. And then a caveat to that is, I want to say, is that I would put into Google Sheets, I would put all of the different names, emails, and Instagram handles of all these producers, so whenever I have my monthly pack of loops ready, I can send it all out to them and make sure that I don't miss anybody. If you want to increase your likelihood of getting good relationships with producers, I wouldn't just blast out a bunch of cold emails to producers that you never even talked to. I would hit them up on Instagram, wait for them to respond and give you permission to send them loops, and then put them on your list and start sending them monthly loops every single month. So now I'm gonna jump into my laptop and I'm gonna show you exactly how you can get your first industry producer connection that you can send loops to.
Okay, so what I'm gonna show you guys is how to get your first network connection. So this is for trap, and then I'm also gonna go for R&B as well if you don't make trap at all. But yeah, so I will go to Twisted Genius's Instagram, and so the best way to find your first like producer that you can send to that's not maybe as big as Twisted Genius, because he probably gets like 100 loops a day, if not 100 packs of loops a day, you know what I'm saying? So so let's go and find something where he's gotten a placement. So something like this, let's see. All right, so this is somebody that he produced for, so a lot of producers follow him. Let's go to this guy right here and see. Okay, boom, here's your first connection right now. Only 2,700 followers, so you know he's going to be checking DMs. Just go to their story and reply to it, and that way you don't get it put in the request folder. If you follow them and they follow you back, then you can send it a DM and not worry about getting put in the request folder. But yeah, if they have a story up, go to the story and then hit them up. You can see he's got some Julio Folio, you know, that's a bigger artist. I don't know about these other guys so much, but you know, he's getting placements, you know, and if they're gotten placements recently, that's going to be an even better way to start getting placements, you know. So like, let's go to somebody else. Okay, Ayo Ants, that's probably a producer too. Okay, so he doesn't have any placements yet, you know, and I wouldn't recommend sending to somebody that doesn't have placements, you know what I'm saying? So okay, so let's go to official 88 major 88 keys. I know this because he's already on my list of producers that I sent to. So you know, he's a bigger producer, but he's always looking for loops, you know. He's part of Beat Club, so I think he's got management. He's worked with some big artists. So there you go, there's a freebie right there. Go and hit him up. No guarantees for sure. Okay, so here's something else that let's see, decals. I don't know about him. Let's try to find. Okay, this is definitely a producer. Okay, so no placements. I'm trying to find one more for you just to show you guys that this works, but I think you get the picture. You can just go through there, and if you can't find any from there, you can go through the actual likes. I don't think I can do that through the desktop app. Oh yeah, I can. Okay, so you can pull up the list and go through all of these people and see if they are producers, so, or if they have placements. So I would recommend doing this, and until you find somebody that's really getting a lot of placements, and then hit them up. So you can go through all of them and see what you can find. So none of these guys I found so far, but I've already showed you like 3 different producers that you can send loops to. So I think you get I think you understand what I'm saying there. So start with one person that you can hit up and get a connection with, and then from there, what you want to do is go through their stories. And so they're always posting their collabs with other producers, so make sure you go to their stories, and whenever they start tagging these other network connections that they're already sending out beats to and stuff, then you can hit up all of their network connections and then start developing relationships with them and sending samples to them as well and putting them on your list, you know. So that's another way to do it. So make sure that you're following them and you're staying tuned in to what they're putting out, because whenever they're putting out these beats that they really like, then you can start getting in contact with all these other people they're collabing with. So hopefully that is helpful. That is definitely how I get most of my placements and network connections. So okay, let's go over to Hitmaker. You know, if you make R&B, maybe you should go over here. And so produced by Earwolf and I guess the team. So you can go and go over to here and see what they're up to. Okay, so he's only got 3,000 followers. So Hitmaker's got a team of producers making beats for him, and so this might maybe somebody that submitted to Hitmaker, you know, for an opportunity, or just got a placement because he's part of the team. But now you know that this person is getting placement, so you can go and hit them up. And then as well, whenever they start posting stories, you can go and hit those people up as well. You can go through who they're following. You know, he's only following 500 people, and you can go and look through all of these different producers, Prod by Jimmy. So let's go and look at what he's got going on. He's also getting placements. So these may be like lower placements, I guess, like smaller placements, or producers or artists that have just signed to a label or still independent, but they have distribution deals. And that way you can start getting your credits up. Like start getting in contact with these people. So there you go. That's another gem. So go over to Hitmaker's channel and try to find something. So he's tagging everybody. He's giving credit to everyone. So that way you can get in contact with all of these different producers, artists, engineers, A&Rs, whatever. So that's what I would recommend. So that's how to get your first industry music producer connections to network with and start to helping you to navigate through getting placements in the industry.
So now that I've shown you how to get your first industry producer connection and how you can start compounding your network and start to get more placements, I'm now going to show you the right way to send these loop packs out, as well as how you should do it if you produce trap or if you produce R&B.
All right, so let's check out how you should send samples out. So this is the best way to send out samples if you're producing trap and you have a bunch of loops. Okay, so let's go through some of these. So this is a trap loop. I think it has a counter melody. So you may be saying like, okay, there's no stems though, but at the end, so I separate all the stems and just put them at the end. I'm sure you already know that. If you don't, then, you know, whenever you're finished with the sample, have everything going together. And then at the end, just put every single element one by one. Make sure there's space in between, that they're all lined up and timed so that they can, you know, chop it up. The producers can chop it up in their DAW. So I did that with all of these. And these are all MP3s. These are not WAV files. You can see it says MP3 there. So make sure, like, this is going to load so much faster for them too. They can just download in like 3 seconds, check out all of them. And then I've never had anybody ask for a WAV file. In this industry, it's all about like speed, quantity, you know, so I'm producing quality, but it's also a lot of quantity. So I made sure like I get at least like 15 loops in a pack, at least 10 to 15, you know, and that way, so there's all of these different loops. They have a counter melody on them, and then I'm putting the stems at the end. So that's the way that you should send them out to trap producers. So just have, and then I recommend labeling it and putting your name on the pack, so that's kind of your brand right there. So I put my name, I put the month. So that was July. Yeah, July 2021 samples. Okay, so I don't like using the word loop even, because I feel like it's kind of like makes it seem like it's less valuable. So I like putting samples, you know, so your name, the month, the year, samples. And the reason I put the year is because I just have so many different packs, you know, in here. So so that's how I send out for industry trap producers. So for industry R&B producers, the way that I send out is a little bit different. So I like using the term compositions. I do compositions because I feel like that makes it more valuable than using the word sample. So that's just a little bit of psychological stuff, I guess. I don't know if it even means anything, but that's how I feel about it, because I feel like my work is high fidelity, high quality. So the way that I send out is I don't even have my name on here necessarily, because all of these people I really know who I am already. So my samples are pretty unique. That's kind of my brand in a way. So when you go into here, you see it's a lot different. So I have references. These are all MP3s. Okay. So I have my references MP3s because when I send it to them, I want them to be able to pull them up and say, I want to cook up to these three. Then they can go to the stems. So I zip the stem file the stem folder, because that way it can send a lot faster and they can download it a lot faster. Otherwise, you know, the raw unprocessed or the raw WAV files, you know, it's going to take a long time for all of these to get sent, you know. So after you have all of that done, you have it labeled within the folder. So you have your folder, inside of that you have your references, then you have stems, and then when you're done with all of the stems that are going in that pack, I like to have 10. Like you can see here, there's 10. So once I get to 10, I send out for the month, and then you zip that up. So you can also see here like second pack right there. So like if I produce more than 10, or I produce 5 real quick and I just want to send it out to my list because I haven't sent in a while, then I'll send that, and then I'll start working on a second pack for the month. And if I don't get it done, then maybe this would end up being you know, for July or something like that instead of June. So hopefully that's helpful to you. So now I want to show you guys how I send. So to send these out, you can do it several different ways. You can do it through Dropbox. So you can go to Dropbox, and then if you don't want them to see like how many people are in it, then when you go to share, you can, instead of hitting edit, you can hit view and then copy the link, and then you can just send that link to them through you can send it through your regular your regular account, your regular mail, or you can just paste their email in there. And I'm not going to show you my email list, obviously, like that's very valuable to me, so I'm not going to show my exact email list, but it's in Google Sheets. I go to Google Sheets and I can go and just copy an email, paste it in there, and then you know, obviously I can't do the Dropbox folder link, but let's say I was sending to myself, boom, and then you can add a note on here and say like, okay, so this is usually what I'll be like, Kobe new guitar samples this month, you know. So I can just do that and then send it off to them, or send it with no note if I want. I get better open rates if I just send it direct to them through email, or if I send it the other way, which I'm going to show you guys now. So you send it that way. You can do it through Gmass too. If you're not familiar with that, you do it through Gmail, and you do an extension called Gmass, and you can send out to everybody at once. But since I have like multiple Google emails and stuff, I don't really want to do that because I want them to get used to seeing it from my regular email. So I like doing this because you can send 10 at a time. So you can copy and paste 10 producers from your list, go and paste it into this WeTransfer, and then you can upload up to 2 gigs. So I would just go to here, and then let's say I'm sending out to my YouTube list and I have this pack. So I'm sending it out to them for the month, and then I go and paste 10 emails in there. I keep it pretty small because I have really good relationships with these people, and like I'm saying, use relationships to your advantage. Don't just try to get high numbers, because yeah, it's a numbers game, but it's also a relationships game. So make sure you're developing good relationships. So use WeTransfer. That's pretty good to use. So yeah, hopefully this video has been helpful for you guys.
So hopefully you've learned a lot today from how you can start getting placements in the music industry, especially if you make loops. If you don't, then it's absolutely no worries. You can still find emails for artists and managers and A&Rs and labels, and you can start sending out full beats to them, you know. But I would definitely recommend getting into making loops, making some dope loop packs, and then sending them out to producers that you've gotten in contact with on Instagram. So hopefully this has been of some value to you. Also, I am teaching how to scale your business to $3,000 to $5,000 a month. So if you're a producer and you're not hitting those marks, but you really want to increase your monthly sales, then I would recommend starting with my free framework. That's a link in the description. And once you've gone through that and you understand how custom beats can be a good fit for you, then I have a course that's going to be dropping in the next few months. But until then, I offer it in 2 separate consultations for 1 hour. And that way you get 2 hours to really see exactly how I am using paid advertisements and organic means to generate traffic, get producers into my system, and sell custom beats to them, and make sure that I get paid every single time. So if that sounds interesting to you and you want to scale your business to $3,000 to $5,000 a month, then make sure you book a consultation below with me, and then hit me up on Instagram and we can set up a time to talk through Zoom. But I appreciate you guys watching. If you would like and comment on this video and subscribe to the channel, it means a lot to me, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
If you want a one-on-one consultation with me, then check out the link below to set that up. And if you want to learn how I make a living selling beats online, then check out my beat selling guide below.